is Too Little Too Late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time when Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
Juicy Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Tonight, the Temple of Speed comes alive. Welcome to West Coast Sim Racing, where the iconic Autodromo Nazionale Monza sets the stage for another electrifying round of Porsche Cup action. High speeds, razor-thin margins, and absolutely no room for error. That's what Monza demands. From the brutal braking zone into turn one to the sweeping precision of Lesmo and the all-or-nothing run through Parabolica. Every corner here can make or break a race. And tonight the stakes couldn't be higher. The championship fight is on a knife's edge. Just 1 point separates the leader from the challenger. One mistake, one bold move, one perfectly executed lap could completely flip the standings. In these identical Porsche machines, there's nowhere to hide. It's pure driver skill, raw pace, and mental toughness under pressure. So buckle up, because every lap matters, every position counts, and every second could define a champion. This is Porsche Cup Racing at Monza, and it starts right now, folks. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for staying tuned. This is West Coast Sim Racing's Porsche Cup Series, and our sponsor tonight is going to be Con Coaching. If you're in need of any coaching services on iRacing or simulator, go ahead and check out Con Coaching. The championship leads us into Monza after Sebring, and that was exciting to say the least. Then it's over to Le Mans for an endurance round, then Spain, Mexico, Fuji, Portimao, and then Road Atlanta. The championship points between Brennan Myers and Josh Hunter couldn't be closer, as it's just 1 point between them. Zach Severe 3 points back in third, Nathaniel Redman in fourth, Edwin Ofri in fifth, reigning in sixth, Michael Odell in seventh, Holloway, Andreu, Birch, Profina, Lawrence, Colby, Cunningham, Colby, Orestes, Crother, Lee Johnson, and then Rizkov are going to round out the top 20. Here at the Autodromo, we have a track length of 3.6 miles, founded in 1922. It's been the current layout from 2000 in Monza, Italy. 11 corners total, 4 to the left, 7 to the right, with 43 feet of elevation change. We have a 0.7 mile long straightaway, and the drivers are going to be full throttle about 3/4 of the lap. Over to Zach Severe now, running in 4th position currently for qualifying. Could do a little bit better, I'm sure, but a 3/10 margin. Will be pretty pleased with that. I'm sure that the slipstream alone can be 3 to 4 tenths. Brendan Myers, our championship leader right now in P1. Carty Cunningham running in 12th position, surprisingly not obviously comfortable with the Monza circuit just yet. 1.9 off the good. I really did expect to see Cunningham further up the order. Looking at the telemetry here, and on board now with the man in white and pink, the Iron Dames machine of Zach Severe hits it hard coming through Variante Ascari. And into Parabolica, hugs the corner, extremely tight, but the checkered flag will fly for Zach Severe. He has to get this lap in now. Will this be any improvement from 4th position for the 714? At the end of the day, it looks like it wasn't a marginal enough improvement for Zach Severe. That's going to conclude the session up, folks. As we get our drivers into the grid, we're going to go through our standing order in just a few moments. Let's look at the race analysis, shall we? Race length of 45 minutes, pit road speed of 80 kph. Unlimited tire sets available. We will have a competition caution come out to bunch up the field or a slowdown from the race director. We do have 100% fuel, so don't expect any pit stops. And we do have iRacing open setups. I'm your host tonight on the broadcast team, Sagar Bakshi, going to be your commentator and producer on behalf of V-Speed. Thank you very much for staying tuned with us, folks. But let's go ahead and look at the grid. On that first row, it's going to be Brendan Myers and Edwin Onofree with the Teeth Monster 199. Brandon Birch and Zach Severe on the second row. And the third, it's going to be Josh Hunter and Alexe Andreu. On the fourth, Miles Guerrero and Sergio Orestes. On the fifth, Joe Rainey and Dylan Lead. Lewis Holloway and Connor T. Cunningham. Igor Rizkov rounding us out. As we sit behind the pace car, it's important to note the history behind Monza. The track was constructed in just 110 days, making the third purpose-built race circuit in the world, of course, after Brooklands and Indianapolis. Built in 1922 inside the Royal Park of Monza near Milan, Italy. In case you want to travel to Monza with your significant other, you can always tease them with a trip to Milan instead. Looking at the weather here tonight, it's going to be 65 degrees, partly cloudy, Track a warm 69 degrees Fahrenheit. Don't expect to see too much tire wear take over the field. And we're rolling behind the safety car now. Bobbing and weaving there from Birch in the number 36 Apex Motor Club machine. He's doing everything he can to warm up those tires. Same thing for the 714 in fourth position now. Let me know what you think is the best line, the inside or the outside line coming down in towards turn one. As we get set up through Parabolica, the pace car will pull in. We'll be ready to take the green flag in just a few moments. Safety cars in. Field belongs to Brennan Myers and Edwin Onofre now. And it's green, green, green here at Monza for West Coast Sim Racing. And it's going to be a good run headed down in towards the first corner for both the 23 and the 199. Well, the 199 is later on the brakes coming down in towards turn one. Who's going to get through cleanly? It's going to be the 23. Brennan Myers making his way through very cleanly. And it's going to be a showstopper for the field. And the engines roar. The Porsches through the first sector. Bobbing and weaving from Birch behind. And the 199 of Onofre late on the brakes. Hop, skip, and a jump through the chicane is going to lose a handful of positions on that run. Rejoins the track back in P8 for Onofre. Battle for the lead here between Birch, Myers, Severe. Severe gets by Myers now. Now with a 45-minute race, you do have to bring up the competition caution. It's gonna bunch up the field. For those drivers that are pushing hard this early, might be in for a rude awakening later on in this event. Joe Rainey in a bit of a tussle with Miles Guerrero in front of him. Alexei Andreu not too far up the road either. Quick look from Zach Severe in towards turn one. Gonna go door to door with the number 36, and they're gonna clatter paint. And the 714 gets pushed off into the kitty litter and falls back behind Brennan Myers. Josh Hunter trying to capitalize on this opportunity here. The Sebring winner trying to go for the back-to-back this time. On his recovery drive right now. Rainey in front. Backs off on the entrance to Ascari. Maybe trying to get a run out of the chicane on the Parabolica where it's safer to make a move. Lewis Holloway off in the background. 714 of Severe trying to break the toe to the 81 behind. Side by side between the 26 and the 199. Miles Guerrero defends hard but fair at Parabolica. But it will be Onofre with the overspeed outside line for him. Joe Rainey gets by Alexei Andreu in the battle just ahead. It looks like Alexei is covering off a defensive run. Headed down the front straight, but now falls back into P11, tumbling like a stone. But Birch trying to go for that move on Brennan Myers for the lead. Couldn't find the daylight there, but still working it like a violin. Hunter moves his way up in front of the 714 of Zach Severe. Battles everywhere you look. Severe and Josh Hunter, Onofre and Rainey as well. Lewis Holloway trying to get by Miles Guerrero, but is a long way back already. Here's Onofre's run on Rainey. He's too far back to look at Parabolica's. Or is it too late? He sticks to the outside line and gets a run on Rainey here. Side by side, down the front straightaway we go. Onofre just a nose ahead. Under braking though is a mile up the road. Pocket sand being kicked up from the driver ahead. Zach Severe chasing down Josh Hunter through Curva Grande. Into the Rajia chicane. 714 on the attack. Severe finds it, but bouncing and banging through the Rajia chicane's exit. Gets checked up a little bit there. Miles Guerrero, Lewis Holloway coming in through the first Lesmo side by side. Holloway backs out of it behind Guerrero. Joe Rainey battling with Sergio Restas, the Camber and Caster driver. They're going to go toe-to-toe on the run down towards Ascari. It will belong to Rainey in front of the number 86 of Sergio Orestes. Josh Hunter catching up to Zach Severe. This battle has Edwin Onofre written all over it right now, because he's right there in the 199. 81 forces the side by side down the front stretch. 199 trying to get a slipstream advantage. 6 to the optimum line. Gets a 2-for-1. Headed down into the first corner. Edwin Onofre with a heroic dive. Holy Toledo, folks. That just happened. Here comes Alex Andreu with Lewis Holloway through Curva Grande with Miles Guerrero chasing them both down. The 19 is late on the brakes, but Lewis Holloway punches through the clean air. Battle for the lead between Myers and Burge opens up to 1 second now, separating the duo. Zach Severe, still in his hunt for the podium, is in 5th place behind Josh Hunter. Further back, more battles are brewing. Sergio Orestes and Joe Rainey here coming in towards turn 1. There goes Orestes. Rainey tries to get a switchback, but Orestes parks it in the real estate that he needs. Gets a little bit of a slip and slide moment coming through turn 1. Alexei Andreu gets a moment. Let's see if we can get a replay of what happened here to Alexei going in towards turn 1. Side by side with Holloway here. Mounts the curb, gets a little touch from Guerrero, and that's gonna send him round. Guerrero unscathed from that. Continues the battle with Lewis Holloway. Holloway is off, coming out of a sky, forces the side by side between himself and Guerrero. Gonna be side by side all the way down towards Curva Parabolica. Guerrero setting himself up for a nice slipstream run going down in towards the first corner. Tucks in behind Holloway, but for how long before it's too much? There it is. He pops right out of line. Holloway tries to give the squeeze to Guerrero. Side by side battle up ahead between Orestes and Rainey, but that one's going to end in tears between Holloway and Guerrero. See if we get a replay of what happened here to Holloway. Coming down and towards turn 1, it all looks okay. Till it goes wrong, tries to give a little pinch to the 26, and that's gonna, unfortunately, bookend that. Rainey here with Dylan Lee. 17 over the number 2 of Lee currently, and the battle for 7th and 8th position. Last laps around for Rainey and Lee were basically identical, 149.1, 149.1. I expect them to unleash their pace a little bit to try to catch up to Sergio Orestes in the number 86 ahead. battle for the lead, though, seemingly coming down. It was floating at around 1.5 seconds, now at just 1 second. Here's the battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th. Orestes leads Rainey and Dylan Lee right now. On board with Joe Rainey. Looks to the inside line on the camera and caster machine, but just trying to scare Guerrero into a mistake. Rainey could have the run here on the number 86. Now he does have a run on the 86. Gets fully alongside Sergio Orestes here. We'll go through at Parabolica, but will the 86 snap back? Looks like he will try to challenge on the run down the straightaway. The very long, nearly 3/4 mile long straightaway. Drivers have plenty of time to get up to 6th gear. Maximum speed, use all the slipstream that they could possibly get on the run down towards the first chicane, and it belongs to the 86, 17, and then the number 2 behind. Josh Hunter is still battling with Edwin Onofre. So they're going to be the battle for the podium right now. The 199 and the 81. Josh Hunter with 2 wins this season could make it a 3rd here. Has to duke it out with Onofre though, or he's choosing to work together for now at the very least. Last lap times around 147.1, 147.0 for Onofre and Hunter. That'll be Josh Hunter's fastest lap of the race, and that will be the overall fast lap of the session. Positions gained and lost on the left-hand side of your screen. Myers with 0, Birch gaining 1, Onofre down 1, Hunter 1. Everybody just fluctuating right where they started, really. No big movers until we talk about Lee, Andreu, and Rainey. Onofre now all over the rear end of Birch, and he's managed to escape the rear end of Josh Hunter. Onofre into Birch here, pushing him along. Backs off into the braking of turn one. Miles Guerrero and Alexei Andreu having a resurgence of their earlier battle. Alexei trying to go the long way around the outside at Curva Grande. Has to tuck in single file line as a long way around the outside is a very long way. He's trying to slingshot his way into Variante della Raggia. But to no avail until the 26 makes a mistake going through Lesmo 1. Alexei comes through at Lesmo 2. Brings along Lewis Holloway in his battle. Bobbing, weaving every which way, looking for a line through on Guerrero. Late on the brakes is Guerrero, but he cooks it too much. Going into Ascaria, Holloway has to check up. And I believe that will be the competition caution, folks. Safety car is going to pick up the leader here and now and nullify the field. Myers, Birch, Onofre, Hunter, Severe, Orestes, Lee, Andreu, Guerrero, Holloway, Cunningham, Rainey, and Ryzhkov round out the 13 here tonight. Take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back, folks.
Trade for bananas?
Bananas? No thanks. Are you tired of lowball offers and no-shows? Here at VehicleBuyers.com, we make it fast and easy to sell your vehicle. Enter your vehicle information into our website and receive an offer for your vehicle. Our competitive offers ensure that you get the best deal possible. If you're ready to sell your vehicle, click the link below.
VehicleBuyers.com. Visit us today. Having trouble outfoxing the deals and the competition getting you all flustered? Time to be sly and visit Overstockvehicles.com. We have over 600 vehicles available for sale monthly, all at dealer pricing. Overstockvehicles.com. Visit us today.
Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
And we are back, folks. Still behind the safety car. Rearing and ready to go are the drivers as they try to generate heat into their tires. At this point, the safety car lights are out, meaning that it's just one to go this time by. Looking at the weather, the track has heated up just a little bit. From right around the 69 degrees, we're up to 75 degrees now. And we start to get gridded up 2 by 2 now behind the cars. This is going to change up the order just a little bit. But again, that optimal run for Brennan Myers is going to be that inside line going towards the Rettifilio chicane. As the field comes through Ascari now, I'm curious to know what everybody's predictions are for this race. Who's going to come out on top and who's going to come out best of the rest? As I keep mentioning, Josh Hunter coming off of that hot win at Sebring. But sitting back in P4 right now alongside Zach Severe. I'm keeping my eye on. Alexei Andreu not out of it yet either. Running in P8. Now the calm before the storm, folks. The drivers are itching and ready to rumble. Brennan Myers nearly going off the track with how much he's weaving right now. Safety car pulls in. Field belongs to Brennan Myers now. Alongside Brendan Birch. Into the restart zone. It's green, green, green for the second time tonight here at Monza for West Coast Sim Racing. Now headed down into towards Kern 1. Who does it belong to? The 23, the 36, the 199? It's going to belong to Brennan Myers. Birch in second, Onofre in third, Severe and Josh Hunter undecided of who's going to be coming in home third or fourth, as they still are battling it out and squabbling for positions. Igor Ryskov and Connor T. Cunningham unfortunately not getting through turn one cleanly on that restart. The 93 backs out of a move on the number 2 because he's in too deep, just like some 41. Lewis Holloway, what in a second was that? It was was our race leader, the number 23 of Brennan Myers. Going into the Roger chicane, he goes over the curb and goes around. That gives the lead over to Birch, Onofre, and Sergio Orestes. What happened to Zach Severe now is the question. Whoa! Zach Severe from the lead of the race chucks it into Ascari, mounts the sausages and survives until he cannot. What happens coming down the straightaway for the 714? Oh, a little bit of a hip check there from the 199, and that's going to destroy his ride. Dylan Lee and Joe Rainey as Rainey goes too deep coming out of the second Lesmo. And that's the 23 of Brendan Myers on his recovery drive. Back up into P9 for points. Might be one of Sergio Orestes' best runs tonight. Potentially coming home in a top three. Ray said something about LAXA Andreu. Well, he's running in P4 currently. Here's Holloway on Josh Hunter. Holloway inside line, Hunter to the outside. And Hunter says, I want nothing to do with that. You can have the position for now. I'll take it away a couple laps later. Here's Onofre and Birch. Onofre about 30 points back in the championship standings. Could really use the W tonight. 86 comes to the inside line on Onofre. But just a glance. Couldn't quite go for the full overtake. I must say, West Coast Sim Racing produces some great action every single week. Take that back, twice a week. These drivers go after it. GR86 on Monday nights, Porsche Cups on Thursdays. And if that interests you, make sure you check out West Coast Sim Racing on Discord. Here's a little bit of a move. LAXA Andreu, Sergio Orestes coming through current Parabolica. Run down the front straightaway goes the way of Onofre. This time Birch defends the inside line. Onofre super late on the brakes, showing his grit and determination, and may walk away with a win tonight. battles everywhere I look. It's all red on the live timing right now as everybody is glued to each other. Onofre and Birch within a tenth. Lewis Holloway 3/10 away from Alexe, being chased down by Josh Hunter. 2/10 back. Brennan Myers 1/10 back from Miles Guerrero, who's making a few mistakes coming through Ascari, as will allow Myers to get the run coming down into Parabolica. 10th back here from Josh Hunter, turns into a little bit more. There goes Myers on Guerrero. Here comes Hunter and Holloway. The 93 and the 81. Drag racing down towards the first corner. And 10 minutes left to go on the clock. And we're just about 5 laps away from our completion of this event. Time flies when you're having fun, folks. Here comes Guerrero on Myers through Curva Grande. Myers challenges back at the Raja chicane. Andreu defends from Holloway behind. Coming into Ascari, the 19 moves back over to the racing line a little bit. Blocks off Holloway's run. Hunter for a move on the 93. It's not on this time. Dylan Lee and Joe Rainey cannot be separated on the racetrack. They're going to go all the way out to track limits through Curva Parabolica, wheel to wheel. And down the front straightaway, the 17 and the 2 are fully alongside. Into the braking zone as well. The 17 backs out, falls in single file for now. Not for long, as the 2 makes a brief mistake though, and the 17 forces his way through at Curva Grande. The inside line turns into the outside line for Variante del Raja. And that's where it goes wrong for Rainey as he bumps into the back of Dylan Lee. As he checks up, the 714 of Zach Severe goes through on 1, maybe even for 2 as he gets 2 done for the price of 1 through the Lesmos. Up here, it's Holloway and Hunter. .640 on the clock. And Brennan Myers and Zach Severe both on their own individual recovery drives tonight. This is going to force a lot of discombobulation between Holloway, Myers, Guerrero, and Hunter. Holloway in P4 trying to cover off Myers. Gives him the big old squeeze down the back stretch. It'll be the 23 who leads. All quiet on the Western Front, just for a moment, as Myers, Holloway, Guerrero, and Hunter are all glued together. Guerrero defends. Josh Hunter back. Hunter forces his way through as Guerrero makes a slight mistake. Opens the door for himself, and the 81 finds a way through. What a sneaky maneuver for Josh Hunter in the final closing stages of this race. Myers all over the rear end of Alexe Andreu. What a recovery drive from Brennan Myers tonight. Working his way from back of the pack, potentially into a podium. Gets through on Alexe, on the run into the first corner, made that one look easy. Here comes Cunningham on Dylan Lee, the number 52. The Patagonia machine chases Dylan Lee in front. Miles Guerrero going quite a bit slowly through Curva Grande. And that's going to force the 502 and the number 2 to walk right on by. Up here, Josh Hunter now tries to get one more, this time on Lewis Holloway, who makes a mistake coming out of Les Mode 2, crosses over the racetrack, and bumps and bangs into the wall. That'll be P5 now for Hunter. And P9 for Connor T. Cunningham. And this will take us onto the white flag lap. Onofre leading by a healthy 2.2 seconds right now and climbing. Joe Rainey, Zach Severe battled in towards the first chicane. But it will go the way of the 714 over to Alexei Andreu and Brennan Myers. Battle for the podium. Alexei Andreu loses touch just a little bit. We'll check in with Joe Rainey and the 714. But I think Zach Sevier has the pace over Joe Rainey tonight. Well, for Edwin Onofre, it wasn't all daisies and unicorns. He had to climb through the ranks one more time for good measure, but had that mistake early on and was able to come through the ranks into P1 with one position gained on the evening. Onofre takes the checkered flag here at the Autodromo Nazionale Monza. Brendan Birch comes home in P2. Brennan Myers in third. Alexei Andreu with Josh Hunter. Zach Sevier, Joe Rainey, Dylan Lee, Miles Guerrero, Igor Ryskov, Lewis Holloway, and Connor T. Cunningham rounding out the 12, still on track. Here are those official results. Onofre over Birch, Brennan Myers, Andreu. Then Josh Hunter, Zach Sevier, Joe Rainey, Dylan Lee, Miles Guerrero, Igor Ryskov. And Lewis Holloway, Conti Cunningham, and Sergio Orestes rounding out 13 out here tonight. Let's go ahead and get our drivers ready for their interviews. Hopefully, they're rearing and ready to go, folks. Yes, we have everybody right outside the broadcast booth. Let me go ahead and invite them in. First and foremost, we got to talk to our winner, Edwin Onofre. Now, Onofre, you had a heck of a battle tonight, starting from the top. Now we're here, but it wasn't that way when the safety car came out. What was going through your head for the first half of the race when it wasn't going your way?
Well, I thought first just taking it nice and easy around the competition because this is not one of my best tracks. And especially because I don't drive the Porsche Cup a lot, I don't know what to expect. So it was just very weird. So I just decided to take it nice and easy and learn the track as I progress. And then once that restart happened, I thought to push it a little bit further. And I did start to notice a pattern that everybody's tires were like fading away and they got struggling with the grip on right-handed corners, which means that we have burned up the left front a lot. And I think that second half, I ended up playing a really good role in just maintaining the tires because at that point that we entered turn 3, I believe, everybody has almost did the same thing I did. And I was like, hell no, I do not want a repeat of what happened the past 2 weeks with the cold tire situation. I was not going to throw it away. I almost did, but I luckily was able to catch that. And yeah, after that, it just got better and better. I got more comfortable with the car, with the track, and then I was able to get away from Brandon. And I gotta apologize, I think, to Zach Xavier because during that bump draft on the restart, it looks like he might have caught into me, and I thought it was because I bump drafted Brandon, but that was not the case. Oh, Well, either way, I would give an apology about that. But yeah, this was a fun race. Like I said, Monza was not one of the tracks I expected to, be very competitive, let alone a win. But yeah, this field has kept it pretty nice and clean. We had some teamwork amongst some of the members here, and I got to thank them for their cooperation. I do appreciate that.
Very nice, Edwin. Thank you very much for that recap. That was beautiful and eloquently put, from green to checkered flag, how you felt, what you're going through, and how you're able to recover at the end of the day. Just very well put. Anybody you'd like to shout out or thank on the evening tonight?
First of all, Tech Sport Racing, they're going to come over to Circuit of the Americas at the end of April, so that way they can compete in the GR86 series as well as the GT4 series, where Frankie Muniz will be there. If you're not there, I will invite you. I don't have the money, but I will invite you to come over. So that's the first shout out. Second shout out will be to my friends and family, and as well as my coworkers at Discount Tire. And then last but not least, shout out to the production team, especially you. Thank you for having me here. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Edwin Onofre. Appreciate you, brother. Have a great night and stay safe. Heading over to P2, it'll be Brandon Birch, who started in third and led us for 5 of those laps in the number 23. Brandon Birch, you had a pretty clean race out there tonight. Was it quiet but deadly?
Yeah, for sure. I did not really have the pace, so Edwin was giving me a couple bumps when he came up behind me, so appreciate that. And then it was unfortunate that Brennan spun there. So, but both of those guys had way more pace than I did. I was just kind of slow and steady. So I don't drive these cars very often, so trying to get used to them. And I was trying to save tires, but I guess I didn't do a very good job of it because last couple laps there they were pretty smoked. So, but yeah, no, it was a fun race.
Excellent race, but you're absolutely right. You're able to just kind of be the tortoise there in the race and just let the race come to you. Did you have any expectations coming into this event, or was it just, hey, whatever happens, happens tonight?
Yeah, no, I had zero expectations. I actually wasn't even going to race. And then Warren was like, hey, we need somebody to throw the yellow. You want to hop in there and race? And I was like, sure. So I was kind of cool with whatever happened, and it ended up pretty decent. So good stuff.
Great turnout. Thank you very much, Brandon Birch, for showing up tonight. Anybody you'd like to shout out and thank on the evening?
Yeah, of course, Warren putting on the league. It's a good time. You for broadcasting. It's always fun to go back and watch those. You do a good job. So appreciate that. And then, as always, vehiclebuyers.com if you want to sell a car, and overstockvehicles.com if you want to buy one.
Right on, Birch. Thank you so much, brother. Have a wonderful night, my man.
Appreciate it. You too.
Over to, last but not least, the number 23, who seemingly did the impossible, started first, at the midpoint of the race was in last position, and somehow climbed back up to P3. Brendan Myers, excuse me, your pace was unbelievable tonight. Talk to us about your race preparation and how are you able to get that pace?
Yeah, honestly, I'm just as surprised as you are. I really didn't expect to be able to come back to the field, especially here at Monza, where once everybody's in the slipstream, it's kind of hard to get back caught up with them. But somehow got lucky enough to pull a draft with everybody and catch back up. Did a little bit of race prep before, did a little bit of practice, maybe about an hour's worth of driving earlier before the session. Try to fine tune the setup a little bit. But other than that, not too much else.
So you surprised yourself, you surprised us. I'm sure you surprised the rest of the field with what you were able to do tonight. You're still holding on to the lead in the championship, I think, all things considered, with this podium tonight. Any thoughts going into the final couple of rounds of the season?
Just try to be a little bit more consistent. I gotta stop doing these redemption races. I think this is 4 races in a row that I've went back to the back of the pack and had to crawl my way back up, basically. So can't say I'm definitely not working for the championship, that's for sure.
But you're so good at it, Brennan. Come on now.
It's been about 80% luck. I've been catching the field at like the perfect time to get around them and not be able to lose a lot of time.
Well, you've been showing up and showing out every single week, Brennan. Anybody you'd like to thank on the good podium tonight?
Just we'll keep supporting keep shouting out my grandparents who keep watching these and supporting me through this, and my cat as well. I've always got my cat right here at my feet.
Right on.
Got to keep them, shout them out.
Shout out to Grandma and Grandpa Myers, and shout out to the kitty cat at the feet. Brendan Myers, thank you so much for showing up every single week, and good luck in the championship.
Appreciate you. Have a good night.
Good night. And with that, I don't think we're going to have Warren Johnson joining us tonight, which will lead us to our closing remarks, folks. This has been a fantastic event on the evening tonight, folks. It's been a great show, but all good things have to come to an end, and so shall this. Have a wonderful night, everybody, and as always, make sure you stay safe out there. Goodbye for now.